Hey there, my friend. Can you believe it? We're already at that point. Minicamp is wrapping up. After today and tomorrow, the Dallas Cowboys will hit pause until training camp officially kicks off. Just like that, we're heading into what's often considered the quietest stretch of the NFL calendar. But don't let the silence fool you. There's a ton happening beneath the surface in Dallas right now. It's a crucial time where the focus is on staying healthy, staying mentally sharp, and most importantly, staying united as a team. What's really striking this year is the fact that the Cowboys have something that not every NFL team can boast: 100% attendance. Every single player has reported. No holdouts, no drama, no distractions. That's huge. In recent years, we've seen some key players sit out OTAs or minicamp because of contract disputes or negotiations. But this time around, everyone's in the building and locked in. That even includes Micah Parsons, who's been at the center of some big headlines. Now, I want to hear what you think. Does full participation at this stage really matter? Or is it just overhyped, a feel-good headline with little real impact? Go ahead, vote in the poll, and drop your thoughts in the comments. I'm genuinely curious where you stand on this. Because here's the thing, these last few days before the break are about way more than just drills and conditioning tests. They're about mindset, accountability, and sending a message. It's about showing your teammates and coaches that you're fully locked in and ready to grind. From what I'm seeing and hearing, the energy around this team feels different this year. Of course, there's still a massive question looming over everything: Micah Parsons' contract situation. It's the elephant in the room, or as Mark Holmes put it, the 800-pound gorilla that nobody can ignore. But here's the thing: despite all the tension, Micah's showing up, working hard, and fully engaging with his teammates. That says a lot about his character and professionalism. Before we dive deeper into the drama surrounding his contract, let's take a moment to appreciate what this means. The Cowboys are wrapping up minicamp with full attendance, positive vibes, and the core guys fully bought in. Now, that doesn't guarantee a championship come December, but it certainly beats the alternative fractured locker rooms and distractions that can derail a season. Okay, now let's talk about the guy who's got everyone buzzing: Micah Parsons. He's here, practicing, smiling, leading, and yet, if you look closely, there's an undeniable tension simmering beneath the surface. Because while he's giving everything he has on the field, the one thing that hasn't happened yet is that payday. Parsons is eligible for a contract extension, and given his impact on this defense, it's widely expected that he'll become one of the highest-paid non-quarterbacks in NFL history. That's a big deal. But instead of holding out or making a scene, he's chosen to show up and lead by example. That speaks volumes about his mindset and maturity. Now, I want your opinion. Should the Cowboys pay Micah now or hold off? Vote in the poll and tell me why in the comments. Would you risk frustrating your star defender by delaying this deal? Because let's be honest, there's risk on both sides. The front office has to juggle cap space, timing, and the precedent it sets for other players. But if they wait too long, they could end up paying even more if Parsons continues to dominate next season. What's really interesting here is Micah's approach to the media. He's not ducking questions or going silent. Instead, he's out there answering reporters, posting on social media, laughing with teammates, and maintaining that energetic vocal presence we expect from him. That's not typical behavior for a player caught up in contract limbo. Most would retreat until the deal is done. Micah's stance sends a clear message to the front office: I'm doing my part. Now it's your move. And just to be clear, this doesn't mean Micah is giving the Cowboys a discount. He knows his worth and is confident it will be recognized. He's simply betting that his professionalism and on-field impact will ultimately speak louder than closed-door negotiations. So what do you think? Will his approach speed things up, or are we in for a long, tense standoff? Drop your take below and stick around, because next up, we're diving into the hidden message behind Dak Prescott's latest moves. Let's talk about the man under center, Dak Prescott. This isn't your typical contract debate. It's about something deeper, something subtler, the silence. Dak hasn't been making headlines with contract drama or cryptic tweets. There's been no holdouts, no public complaints, just quiet focus. But don't mistake that silence for complacency. Sometimes, silence is louder than any press conference. What we know is Dak is entering the final year of his contract. He has a huge cap hit looming, and the Cowboys have yet to lock him into a long-term deal. That alone should be making headlines every single day. But Dak? He's grinding, showing up, leading the offense, and treating it like business as usual. Let me ask you, do you think Dak's silence is part of a bigger strategy? Is he playing it cool while subtly putting pressure on the front office to act? Vote in the poll and let's discuss in the comments. Because this quiet confidence is powerful. It shows he's not desperate. He's betting on himself, forcing the Cowboys to confront a tough question: what's the backup plan if Dak walks? It's a high-stakes game of poker. The Cowboys could be calling his bluff, thinking they'll find a better option in the draft or free agency next year. But history tells us finding a franchise quarterback who can win games, command respect, and handle the pressure in Dallas isn't easy. There's another layer here. Dak's approach sets him apart from many players around the league. While some hold out or go public with frustrations, Dak stays the course. That sends a message, not only to the front office, but to every player in that locker room, led by example. Let your game do the talking. So what's your take? Is Dak's quiet leadership strengthening his leverage? Or is it giving the Cowboys room to stall? Would you want the team to extend him now? Or wait and see how the 2025 season unfolds? Hang tight, because coming up next, we're breaking down the chain reaction all of this is causing inside the locker room and why it could define the entire season. All right, now let's get into something the national media rarely touches on, but that you and I both know is critical: the locker room. Dak Prescott's contract situation isn't just a front office headache, it impacts the entire roster. When your team captain and quarterback, the guy everyone rallies around, has an uncertain future, it changes the vibe in that building. So here's the question: who's truly riding with Dak, and who's wondering if this is his last ride? Sources inside the team suggest the locker room still backs him. He's earned their respect. From offense to defense, rookies to veterans, Dak's presence carries weight. But that doesn't mean there's no tension. Imagine being a wide receiver like Brandon Cooks or CeeDee Lamb. You've spent the entire offseason building chemistry with your quarterback, only to face the possibility that he might not be there next year. Or consider the defense: Micah Parsons and company. They need a quarterback they can trust to keep them competitive every game. If the front office treats Dak like a short-term piece, it sends a ripple effect through the entire roster. No one is truly safe. If you were in that locker room, would you feel fired up to fight harder for Dak? Or would the uncertainty plant doubts about the team's long-term vision? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I really want to hear your take on this. Here's another important layer: young players, especially rookies, are watching all of this closely. How the team treats its leader sets the tone for what they can expect as their careers unfold. If Dak doesn't get the respect he's earned, what message does that send to the rest of the roster? This isn't just about a contract, it's about culture. Right now, the Cowboys are walking a tightrope, trying to keep everyone locked in for 2025, while avoiding the drama that comes with uncertainty. So I have to ask you, how much does the handling of Dak's situation affect team morale in your eyes? Does it matter to you if the locker room stays united? Because up next, we're turning our attention to the front office, why they're gambling so hard on their quarterback's future, and what that means for the franchise going forward. Don't miss it. All right, here we go, the heart of it all. Why are the Cowboys playing this high-stakes game of chicken with their franchise quarterback? Let's be real, the front office, led by Jerry and Stephen Jones, is rolling the dice in a way that could either make them look like visionaries or leave them cleaning up a mess for years. They're banking on the idea that Dak Prescott, entering the final year of his deal, will deliver his best season yet without the team committing long-term. But let me ask you, how often does that strategy actually work in the NFL? It's a gamble with major consequences. If Dak plays lights out, his price skyrockets, and if the Cowboys make a deep playoff run, fans will demand he be paid top dollar. But by then, the damage might already be done. Waiting too long could fracture the trust between player and front office, making negotiations even harder. On the flip side, if Dak struggles or suffers an injury, the Joneses might feel justified in moving on. But then you're left starting over at the most important position in football with no clear answer, no proven successor, just a big hole under center and a whole lot of uncertainty. Some fans argue this is smart business, never overpay, always keep leverage. Others say it's a sign the Cowboys don't truly believe Dak can lead them to the promised land. So where do you stand? Is this a masterclass in cap management? Or is it just another chapter in a front office that can't seem to get out of its own way? Let's do a quick vote. Are Jerry and Stephen Jones making the right move with Dak's contract? Type yes if you believe in their strategy, or no if you think they're risking it all for nothing. I'll be reading every single answer. At the end of the day, this isn't just about the 2025 season. It's about the future of the Dallas Cowboys. Because if this gamble doesn't pay off, it could set the franchise back for years. Now that we've broken it all down, stick with me. We're going to pull it all together into one seamless story for the voiceover right after this.